welcome all kittens to another drawing video. In today's drawing video, I am back with more Amari fan art. This is technically part 2 of when I drew all the badges, well, all except the moonstone badge, which I drew in this video. I decided to draw Amari seeing her badge for the first time, you know, in book 1 when she's on stage, she's handed the case, and then she sees the moonstone badge and she's like, oh, it's beautiful. But we don't actually get any description of it, and on the cover, it's just turquoise. So I was like, you know what, I can do better. And does this necessarily need to be something with a fancy design? No. But I was like, you know what, screw it. I want to give it a fancy design. So yeah, I drew Amari seeing her badge for the first time. I drew a more close-up of it in its case, and then I drew it not in its case. Because, yeah, that's what I decided to do. I actually wasn't going to draw it inside the case at first, but then I felt like the spot where I did end up putting it looked super empty. So I was like, what else can I draw? And I was like, the moonstone badge in its case. I could have done any of the badges in a case. I could have done the notebook paper badge if I wanted, but I kind of headcanoned that only the first 3 badges and the moonstone badge are like half spheres, and then the rest of them are like flat inside the frames. So then it wouldn't have looked quite as interesting if I'd done the notebook paper badge. Anyway, that's such a random rant. But yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of how these drawings turned out. I have to admit, with the moonstone badge, I was really like, okay, well, I screwed up. Unfortunately, most of the process of drawing the moonstone badge, both in the case and not in the case, was pretty janky. I mean, all art has an ugly stage, but it lasted way too long, and I kind of panicked that okay. I should have just done like a normal moonstone instead of this weird combination of like a rainbow moonstone and another moonstone that I don't know the name of. But yeah, I do like how it turned out in the end. My idea was kind of that it looked like all like the black on the moonstone was clouds and then lightning striking down, because I thought that would look really cool. I still think it looks cooler in my head than I managed to execute on paper, but I do like how the drawings turned out. And then I was thinking there would kind of be these rainbow sparks flying up. I think maybe I should have done the sparks with pencil instead of marker. I think they might be a bit too blobby, and I think that's part of the reason that I didn't like it for so long. Also, they stood out way too much at first, so I did a lot to lighten them so that they wouldn't look so bizarre and like someone just glued confetti to it, basically. But again, I think it turned out okay. Oh my god, I struggled so hard with the drawing of Amari here, mainly with drawing her top, because I don't draw shirts with collars that often, tops with collars that often. And I think I've only drawn them once, and that was not from like side profile thing. I also was not able to figure out how to show like the buttons on her top, unfortunately, because it's side profile. So please do not yell at me in the comments for not including them, because I remember that detail. I couldn't figure out how to add it when it's in side profile. So yeah. One thing that I definitely wish I did better was I wish that I'd figured out a better way to make the case come across as polished wood. I mean, it does kind of come across, but I feel like it looks a little bit patchy. Well, what you're watching right now looks really patchy. I swear it gets better than that, though. But yeah, I don't really know how I would have fixed it, but I feel like I could have just done a bit more with it instead of just making it look like it looks a bit generic, in my opinion. Ooh, also, for the inside of the case, at first I was thinking I'd just do it white. I actually checked book 1 to make sure it didn't say it had, like, red velvet inside or something, because for some reason I thought it did. So at first I was gonna make it white, but I started with a base of gray because I was like, it'll look weird. Then I was like, you know what, I'll try the velvet. I think it turned out okay. I think. But yeah, I think that was definitely the right decision. I think white would have been too distracting from the actual moonstone badge, and definitely would have looked way too similar to the background, which is also white. I did at the very end add some like blue swirls to the background just because I still thought it looked a little bit empty and I couldn't really think of anything else to draw on it. Oh, also, in case you're wondering what the heck is happening with the frame of the moonstone badge, I remembered halfway through that I have a gold pen, so I used that. Kind of going back and forth on if that was a good idea or not. But yeah, this is how it turned out. I think that all these drawings look really good, and more fan art will be coming soon. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time, kittens. Bye!